Hey, this is Jason with WPGraphQL, and I want to go over this bug where querying the GraphQL endpoint from different domains for the same site is not working. So the situation we're in, we have demo.wpgraphql.com, that's the primary domain, and the default domain when the site was set up by WP Engine is wpgraphdemo.wpengine.com. So what I want to be able to do is make a query to the GraphQL endpoint here or here. And if I set up other domains, I want those domains to work as well. So there's a bug right now in WP GraphQL where this is not working. So let me demonstrate this. I can go to, demo.wpgraphql.com. I can hit the GraphQL endpoint, and we'll see the GraphQL endpoint. And then I can make a query like query equals, we're going to say posts, nodes, ID, and we'll get some data back. I can change this to, title, and we'll also add maybe something like excerpt, right? So I can make these queries on this domain. So what I want to do is do the same thing. I'm going to do this in another tab here, but what we want to do is use this domain here now. So right, demo.wpgraphql.com works fine, but if I replace it here with the standard domain, what's going to happen, I'll close my DevTools here, what's going to happen is it's not going to recognize that this is the GraphQL endpoint, and it's going to give us like some WordPress resolution and not really understand what just happened. So you see the URL changed, WordPress tried to figure out what the heck it is, ended up at the home, right? So not what we want. Okay, so we do have some code that fixes this. So let me switch that code real quick and update that. Okay, so now I've updated that. So now I'm gonna go back, and we are gonna query. Let me turn this back into a query. So we're going to say post ID, title, and excerpt. All right, so now that's working. I got something else going on. Because I had a typo. But we can see the endpoint is, and hold on. Let me say post, nodes, ID, title, content. So what's actually happening right there is we were hitting a cached response, and it was cached with something wrong. So this fixes it, right? So the code that I just updated in this pull request fixes it. So now I can query either endpoint, right? I can go replace it with demo.wpgraphql.com, and this query will work. So either domain will work. Right? We can say demo, WPGraphQL demo.wpengine.com. So yeah, either of these domains endpoints work now with this code change that we fixed. And one thing we can do too is we can query the URI, for example, and see that the link actually is what I want. The URI is just the path, so link. So yeah, so we can see that even though I'm querying WPGraphQL demo.wpengine.com, it's still working and it knows what the real URI is. So where before this wasn't working, as I demonstrated, it would just fall back to regular WordPress resolution, which is not what we want. So now the trick though is, how do we test this? So we need a Docker environment that can resolve to the same WordPress instance under two domains, and we need to be able to test that both domains work. So that's a little bit out of my wheelhouse. I was looking into setting up some Apache stuff with server aliases and whatnot. I think I'm probably on the right path. But I feel a little bit out of my wheelhouse customizing Docker environments and whatnot. So if I need to, I'll dive back in and figure it out. But hopefully, someone else with some more Docker experience can help out there. So that's kind of a gist of the issue. All right, thanks. Bye.